Today I will be doing another tag video, and this time it will be the music tag. So I have 19 questions about music and they are down here on my phone. So if I'm looking down a lot at my phone, it's normal, it's because I have the questions on here. So let's get started. Question number 1. Which bands/artists do you own the most albums by? I have a lot of albums by Rob Zombie. I think I own about 4 or 5. But I also have some White Zombie albums, but basically it's the same artist, he just changed his name during his career, so I have a lot of them. I also own 4 or 5 Muse albums, and I think I own multiple Green Day albums from when I started listening to alternative music. So I think those are the 3 bands that I own most music by, so Rob Zombie, Muse and Green Day. Question number 2. What was the last song you listened to? Well, when I was doing my makeup to prepare for the video, I was listening to Commando, and they have a new song out and it's called Body Count, and I believe that is a song I just listened to before I started filming this video. Question number 3. What's in your CD player right now? Well, I don't own a CD player anymore. I have one at my boyfriend's place and we have 5 CDs that are in there. But on my computer I have a CD that is in my computer. Well, it's a CD-DVD, and it is the Metropolis 2005 edition, so it has a lot of alternative bands such as Combi Christ, The Birthday Massacre, etc. But it is a mix CD-DVD. Question number 4. What was the last show you attended? I went to Eurorock a few weeks ago, and the last band I saw there was Killing Joke, I believe, before we went to the after party. I saw a tiny bit of Therion since they played last, but the actual show that I saw in its entirety, or most of it, was Killing Joke. Question number 5. What was the greatest show you've ever been to? It must be a tie between 2 festivals. So my very first time going to Graspop, so that's a metal festival here in Belgium, and the first time I went was in 2007, and I was so overwhelmed by all the bands that I could see, and I will always remember the performance by the Mubarhir that I saw there. It was the first time that I actually saw them. It wasn't the first time, I think it was the second time that I saw them live, but it really left an impression on me. The huge crowd, that all these people were there for just metal music. And then the second time that really is gonna stick to me is the first time I saw Rob Zombie live. It was in 2011 at Graspop Festival, and during the song Live and Dead Girl, he actually asked girls from the public to go on stage, and I went on stage with him, and it was just amazing. I had so much fun that year. Question number 6. What's the worst show you've ever been to? To me personally, that was one of the shows I attended as a photographer, since I wrote for an online webzine and I reported on many shows that I went to, so I had to go to a few shows. Even the music wasn't really my taste, or yeah, it was my taste, but the Cannibal Corpse show that was in Trix, I believe it was in 2012, 11 or 12, I'm not sure, and the crowd was really aggressive and they were disrespectful towards me as a photographer and towards me as a girl, since the public that night was really crazy. And usually I don't have a problem at all with metalheads and people at metal concerts, but then I got like, stared at and aggressive people towards me, like asking me why I took pictures and why I was allowed there. So yeah, that was, to me personally, the worst concert, not because of the music, but because of the attitude of the people there. Question number 7. What's the most musically involved you have ever been? I guess I could see that on 2 different levels. I am musically trained, so I used to play the flute. I was in many bands, like big bands and things that play at concerts, so I was in a really large band then. After 5 years of playing just the flute, I had to pick a second instrument, and I played the guitar for a few years as well, and I actually went into a cover band and we played AC/DC covers mostly, It was great fun, and that was while I was living in the French part of Belgium for a few years. And when I moved back, I started my high school, so my university studies, and I really had to put a stop on playing as much music, so right now I only play the guitar still. And then on another level, I also used to write and take pictures for several online magazines and for my blog, and I used to write festival reports, concert reports for it. So I took a lot of pictures of bands and had photo shoots with them. It was great fun, but it was really time consuming, and I had to stop it also because I went to university and because my studies are more important than something I do in my free time. Question number 8. What show are you looking forward to? Actually, I have only one show that I am looking forward to right now, and it is the Rob Zombie show that is gonna be in July somewhere in Holland. So he's also coming to a festival here in Belgium, but I'm not sure if I can go. But the concert that he's giving in Holland, in Eindhoven, I will be able to go, and I already have my tickets, so I'm really looking forward to that. Question number 9. What is your favorite band shirt? I actually have two. So this one by Rob Zombie that I am currently wearing, I will stand up for you guys. This one. So this is my Rob Zombie t-shirt, and it is the 20 years of Rob Zombie t-shirt celebrating it, but it is quite large, and usually I cut up t-shirts that are too large, but this one is so pretty and I just don't want to mess it up, so I just keep it as is, and I'll just wear it oversized. I don't care at all. And then the other favorite band shirt that I have was the very first band shirt I ever got, and my dad bought it for me on, I believe, eBay, and it is a really old Murder Dolls t-shirt, and I have shown you this in my band shirt collection, so it's just with a coffin with a girl in it, and that was my very first band shirt, and I will never get rid of that one. Question number 10. What musician would you like to hang out with for a day? Rob Zombie, obviously. He is such a huge inspiration to me, both on musical level as on a personal level, like how he creates his entire image and movies and music. That's really impressive, so if I could hang out with him for a day, that would be totally amazing to me. Question number 11. Who is one musician or group you wish would make a comeback? This is quite easy for me. It's the band Feinflug, which is an EBM industrial band, and their last album was from 2006. I know they're still working on music, and I saw them at a festival, I believe 3 years ago, but ever since it's been gone completely silent around the band, and that is such a pity, since I really love their music, and I hope that they will make a comeback very soon. Question number 12. Who is one band or artist you've never seen live but always wanted to? That must be Muse. I was always not really lucky when getting tickets for their shows here in Belgium, since when they went to the Sportpaleis, which is a really large concert venue, it sold out in not even 20 minutes, and now they only come to festivals such as Rockwerchter, and I don't go to that festival. If I should pay 150 euros to see one band, and yeah, no, that's just not my thing. So I hope they come to a concert hall soon, and that I will be able to buy tickets, and I hope I will be able to see them one day. Question number 13. Name 4 or more flawless albums. This is quite hard for me, but I found a few ones. So the first one is Muse, Origin of Symmetry. It is one of the first albums by Muse that I ever listened to, and up until this day it is one of my favorite albums as a whole. The second one is The Cure, Staring at the Sea, and this is actually a best-of album by The Cure. But since I didn't grow up with their music, this for me is really perfect, since it has all the music that I know from The Cure, and there were a few songs that I didn't know from them yet, so that I discovered, and as a whole I love this CD. Then the third one is a metal band. It is by Tiamat, and the album is called Amanites. I'm saying that right, I hope. So it is a really doomy, gloomy album, but still it has a lot of character and I really love the album. It was one of my favorite metal albums and it remains one of my favorites ever. And then the final album on this top 4 albums that are perfect are the Hellbilly Deluxe albums by Rob Zombie. Both the first one with Dracula and Living Dead Girl, as the second one with Sick Bubblegum and Werewolf Woman. So those 2 CDs are really awesome to me, and it would be really stupid for me not to mention albums from the band I love most. Question number 14. How many music-related videos and DVDs do you own? I own quite a lot. I think I own more than 20. Mainly because a lot of bands that I love have DVDs. For example, Muse has a few live DVDs, Rob Zombie has a few DVDs. Most of the other bands that are more like in electronic music have compilation DVDs or video club DVDs. So I own quite a few of them. I also own a few Roadrunner Road Rage. So yeah, I own more than 20 DVDs at least. Question number 15. How many concerts and shows have you been to in total? This must be over 100 since I have been going to concerts and shows ever since I was a little child. My parents are both very much into music themselves and they took me and my brother to concerts with them. These were metal concerts obviously. These were like more jazz and like harmony music and like other types of music than what I listened to. When I was really young, I also went, when I was 11 or 12, I went with my grandmother to the seaside, and there were also concerts there of like popular music, which I attended with her. And then when I was 14 or 15, I started going to rock and metal concerts and shows. So yeah, it's a lot. Even when I was in school, I also went to shows to write about the shows and take pictures. So over 100, maybe even over 200 or 300, I am not sure at all. Question number 16. Who have you seen the most live? That was the Devildriver. I have seen them at least 3 times at Trix, so that is a festival hall in Antwerp where I live. And I have also seen them at Grasspop several times. There was even one year that I saw them every day. Because they replaced literally every band that wasn't there. So we had a band on Friday that couldn't play, Devildriver replaced them. They had a band on Saturday that unfortunately wasn't able to play, Devildriver replaced them. And then the day that they had to play, they even replaced another band. So they played twice. So I saw them 4 times on 3 days. And that is how Devildriver is highest on this list. Question number 17. What is your favorite movie soundtrack? This is the soundtrack for the movie The Matrix, and it has songs by Marilyn Manson, Rob Zombie, Rammstein, The Prodigy, and quite a few other bands, and it's a mix of metal and gothy music, and I really enjoy it. Question number 18. What was your last musical phase before you wisened up? Well, I started listening to rock and metal music when I was about 12, I think, and this was because of my cousins. They listened to Korn and to Slipknot, etc., and I just picked up a few bands from them, and I just evolved like that. So I started with rock and metal bands, then it evolved more to the industrial metal, such as Dead Stars and Rammstein, and then it evolved to the more electronic side, so I listened to Combi Christ and to other EBM and gothy bands. Yeah, so it is quite wide, and I still am into this phase, as people call it, but I don't think I will grow out of it. So. And then the final question, question number 19. What is your guilty pleasure that you hate admit to liking? I don't hate admit to liking this, but my guilty pleasure is music by Maroon 5 and by Bruno Mars. It's really uplifting, bright music, and I used to listen to other bands as well that are like mainstream bands and that are like on the radio, etc. But those two are an example of a guilty pleasure that I listen to quite often. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to do the tag yourself, I will put a link here to the blog post where you can find all these questions as well as the answers that I have given to them in this video. If you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments below, and I will see you next week. Bye!